Please be seated. Very loud. For those of you who are at our ceremony this morning, I think all of us were very happy that the clouds came in just 5 minutes before the ceremony ended, so we all got indoors just in time. Welcome, everybody. My name is Tina Cooper. I'm the Assistant Dean and Chief of Staff here at IIT-Stuart School of Business. On behalf of the Dean, the faculty, and the staff of the Stuart School of Business, I welcome all of you to the ceremony today. I would like to take a moment to recognize our distinguished board members who are here to celebrate today with you. Rosemary Mitchell, Jennifer Didier, and Frank Clark. I also want to extend a special thank you and welcome to Jim Holden, our distinguished keynote speaker for the day. And also to our two commencement speakers, our two students, Harshita Iyer and Blania Guo. And to all of you who have traveled across the globe, the families and the close friends of our graduates today, thank you. Thank you for supporting our students during their years of study, and thank you for being here to celebrate with them today on this special occasion. Most importantly, I welcome the men and women of the IIT-Stuart School of Business graduating class of 2014. Early this morning, we enjoyed recognizing all of the university's talented graduates at the university-wide commencement ceremony. This afternoon, we have the honor of coming together as a college to recognize your accomplishments as graduates of the IIT-Stuart School of Business. We have a wonderful ceremony for you today. In addition to our distinguished keynote speaker, you'll hear from your fellow students and from Stuart's Dean, Dr. Harvey Kahalis. We hope that today's ceremony will honor your accomplishments and inspire you to seek out and embrace the opportunities as well as the challenges that await you in the next chapter of your lives. As former US Senator Robert F. Kennedy once said, all of us might at times wish that we lived in a more tranquil world, but we don't. And if our times are difficult and perplexing, so are they challenging and full of opportunity. Today, we celebrate your future with the knowledge that your IIT-Stuart education has prepared you for any challenges and opportunities that might come your way. I would like to start today's ceremony by introducing our distinguished keynote speaker, Mr. Jim Holden. Jim Holden founded Holden International in 1979, and through its almost 30-year history, the company has grown to be a world-renowned leader in the sales process improvement field. As our graduates have learned during their studies, innovative thinking is a key component to success, and Jim's career has been marked by exceptional innovation. In 1990, he established Holden International as the first company to model sales effectiveness. This was an achievement that garnered the Ernst & Young Regional Entrepreneur of the Year Award for the service industry. Jim is a globally recognized business author with titles including Power-Based Selling, World-Class Selling, The Selling Fox, and the new Power-Based Selling, co-authored with Ryan Kubacki. He began his sales career in 1974 with Teradyne, a Boston-based high-technology company. Prior to founding Holden, he was vice president of Aegis, or vice president of sales for Aegis, a third-party distributor of computer-based test systems used in manufacturing. Jim was also a founder and director of the First National Bank of Roselle and has served as director of 2 other area banks. He was also director of several early-stage development companies. Most recently, Jim has become active with the U.S. Department of Energy as a special operations instructor, focusing on the protection of nuclear weapons and special nuclear material. Jim earned his baccalaureate degree with high honors in electrical engineering from Northeastern University in Boston. Jim is a member of the National Engineering Society, Tau Beta Pi, the National Interdisciplinary Honor Society, Phi Kappa Phi. And after all that, believe it or not, Jim finds time to give back to the community. He founded the Partnership to End Homelessness in Chicago, and is a supporter of other charities, including cancer research. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mr. Jim Holden.
Thank you, Tina, and good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to begin by congratulating all of you on all that you've accomplished that has brought you here to this wonderful and exciting day. So well done. In our time together, I'm going to take you to a familiar place, the crossroads of science and business, an intersection that's characterized by unconventional thinking, making the intangible tangible, and by the personal attributes of conviction and boldness. It begins by introducing you to a person who barely graduated high school. You see, when I was a junior, my high school computerized class scheduling, and as it happened, I was left off the gym schedule. So I skipped gym my entire senior year. Not one of my better decisions. But then I really never asserted myself in high school. Then, fortunately, I had been on the gymnastics team, and coach took that into consideration in fulfilling my gym requirement, so I graduated. At about the same time, I basically woke up, it's the best way I can explain it, and I decided that I wanted to study engineering, but was sorely lacking any ability to get into even the most accepting of engineering schools, and was literally rejected everywhere. Then I found Mass Bay Community College that had a new one-year engineering transfer program. I still remember the admissions officer telling me that I would likely not make it through the program, but because they only had 29 students and they needed 30 for state funding, I was in. Good news, or so I thought. Taking courses like inorganic chemistry, analytical geometry, physics, calculus, quickly became impossible for me. I felt like I was on another planet. And that was just the first day. So I went to a local restaurant, the Hilltop Steakhouse, and I got a job working weekends in the kitchen. I then used that money to hire the smartest senior at MIT that I could find. Stan tutored me twice a week, and I survived the first semester, while half the class had dropped out. In the second semester, thankfully, everything came together for me. As an example, I was doing Millikan's oil drop experiment. That was a second-year project for engineering students at MIT. And by the end of that semester, and by the end of the program, I was the only one to go on to engineering school. There, as Tina mentioned, I majored in electrical engineering, and I ultimately found myself after college with Teradyne, a high-tech company selling computer-based test systems to manufacturing facilities. Now, that was a very technical sale, and so we were all sales engineers. And in those days, sales was generally viewed as an art. If the stars and the genetics didn't line up, you just were not going to be a good salesperson. But for me, sales was much more about science than art. I saw it as a process whereby if you skip steps, you would have to go back and make them up late in the sales cycle, which was always very, very, very difficult. That led me to better understand that sales could be viewed as a management science, that it could be understood, and in fact, that it could be modeled. As an example, by developing quantitative criteria, I was able to objectively evaluate sales opportunities and determine whether I should pursue them or whether I should back off. Now that sounds very simple, very basic, but at the time it was very unconventional, as most salespeople would chase all opportunities. If it was warm and breathing and had a pulse, salespeople would go after it, even if it was business they could never win, or if it was potentially bad business that they should not want to win. But perhaps even more powerful was the application of engineering to this sales process, to the intangible aspects of the sales process, like understanding customer politics, organizational politics, and formulating competitive strategy. Politics, I found, was all about the distribution of influence, but influence is intangible, invisible. Only the exertion of influence is visible, and therefore I needed to understand what to look for and when to look for it. I also found that influence and authority were not always the same thing. You could have a high-level person within a company that has lots of authority, but very little influence. And conversely, you could have a lower-level person with limited authority, but very significant influence, very powerful. Now keep in mind that in those days, there was no language of organizational politics. It just didn't exist. There was no constructive way to even think about politics, which by most was viewed as something very negative, to be avoided or feared. So I approached organizational politics through Newtonian mechanics, depicting influence as a pulley system. I saw a correlation between political advantage, which was not understood, and mechanical advantage, which was very well understood. And think about that. Mechanical advantage, doing more work with less effort. Political advantage, building more influence with less authority. As a sales engineer, the ability to quantify influence enabled me to develop a political landscape for an organization, for a company, that I believed would become an unconventional source of competitive advantage. And I'll give you an example. One of my accounts was then Western Electric. And again, the company that I sold for was Teradyne. But Teradyne had never sold a board test system, a type of test equipment, to Western. But I had mapped out the political landscape of Western and found that in the middle management ranks, there was a department chief who was extremely powerful. His influence was very disproportionate to his authority, and he was an individual who could exert influence across organizational lines. I further developed insight into what was motivating him professionally, and that was to drive a shift in manufacturing at Western in order to drive up significantly productivity. So, when a board test opportunity presented itself, we developed a good solution, but we specifically focused that solution on driving that shift in manufacturing process that was very important to the department chief, who had applied some very new, unconventional thinking in terms of how to increase productivity. As it became time for me to present that solution to Western, I did so, and most people who attended were very respectful, very polite. You see, Teradyne, we were only invited to bid for this business as a professional courtesy. The vast majority of the board test business at Western went to HP and Tektronix, who were very strong competitors, very powerful. So it was a professional courtesy, and as I presented, people listened, were respectful, but there were no real questions and comments, and I was on my way. Nobody expected us to win this business. But as I returned to my office later that afternoon, the phone was ringing. It was the department chief. And what he said to me was this: "I want you to know that I understand what you're doing and that I support it." And that was it. He hung up. No pleasantries, no goodbyes. He hung up. But several days later, we were awarded the contract for that business. And when one of my competitors asked the senior engineers, "Why did you guys go with Teradyne?" the response was, "We don't know. But the decision's been made, and we're going to make it successful." You see, even the people within the account, within Western, did not understand the political landscape of their own organization. It was then that I saw the real power of applying science to business, in that it gives us a different way to think about business methods and process. You see, what we're talking about is developing ideas and concepts that exist outside of conventional thought, beyond current reality. But when you do that, you will likely run into skepticism, as people around you doubt what they don't understand. And skepticism, left unchecked, can evolve into resistance. That's where doubt turns to fear. And we see this all the time when people bring new, innovative thinking to change management initiatives. In that event, people doubt themselves. Will management support me? Will the resources be available? They tend to move to the negative side of things. It's at that point that you need two things: conviction and boldness. Conviction is believing in the absence of proof. It's a decision you make to believe in yourself and to believe in your ideas, your thinking. But conviction alone can bend under the weight of adversity. And so we need to be bold. Boldness is the strength, the courage of your convictions. You see, when you make a decision to believe in yourself, in your thinking, when you leverage your education, as evidenced by your actions, that's conviction. When you make a decision, the decision to believe, as evidenced by your actions irrevocably, that's conviction and boldness. When I was in high school and I told people that I wanted to study engineering, with my track record, they just thought I was crazy. At Teradyne, when I told my company I would sell a board tester to Western without having product superiority, they were intrigued. But when I started talking about organizational politics and pulley systems, then they told me I was crazy. Before we started our business in July of 1979, I went out and I spoke to business and industry leaders. I wanted their advice and counsel, spoke to my family, spoke to Chris's family. And without exception, everyone told us that it was not just a bad idea, but that it was a terrible idea, that we would lose everything, although I don't know what we had to lose. But we listened. I was thoughtful, I took what was said to heart, and then we went out and started the company. So my wish for you is that in the days ahead, you'll dare to be different, to think differently, to leverage your education, and to do so with conviction and boldness. Thank you, and God bless. Okay.
Thank you, Jim. That was marvelous. Dean Kahalis has a lovely crystal dish for you, and as a gift.
And as a thank you, and may I read what the inscription says? It says, IIT-Stuart School of Business, IIT, Commencement Ceremony 2014, Jim Holden.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. You can have a seat. At this time, I would like to introduce our undergraduate student commencement speaker, Harshita Iyer. Originally from Chennai, India, Harshita came to IIT-Stuart in 2010. While pursuing her undergraduate degree in business administration with a concentration in finance, Harshita has regularly made the Dean's List and was recognized as an IIT Leadership Academy Scholar. Harshita found numerous ways to challenge herself throughout her education. She served as a senator and then vice president of the Student Life for the Student Government Association. As vice president of TEDx IIT and the Student Union Board. As a volunteer with Alternative Spring Break, and as a sister of the Kappa Phi Delta sorority. Last spring, Harshita was a finalist in the Chicago Innovation Chase, a grueling weekend-long challenge in leadership and innovation. During the summers, Harshita worked as an intern at Ernst & Young India, the Museum of Science and Industry here in Chicago, and the Fidessa Corporation in Chicago. Following graduation, Harshita is hoping to work in the US, either in the consulting or finance industry. It is my pleasure to now welcome Harshita Iyer to the podium.
Thank you, respected Dean Cooper, Dean Kahalis, faculty, family, and friends, for being here with this graduating class on this momentous occasion in our lives. As I sat down to write this speech the night before it was due, because if there's one thing that college teaches you, it's how to make last-minute work look amazing, I was hit with a shattering realization that I had never attended a commencement ceremony ever in my life. I graduated in 2010 from a high school in Chennai, India, where you're simply expected to get through high school and go get your engineering degree, preferably in the same city. So really, I should be thanking my parents for giving me the amazing opportunity to be in this great country, even as they sit in the audience, lamenting the fact that their daughter is graduating with an undergraduate in business administration and not computer engineering. Jokes apart, though, I know that like any other parents in the crowd, they are very proud of what I have made of this opportunity. But I digress. 4 years ago, I stood here, fresh from around the globe, never been out of the house for more than a weekend, let alone the country. For someone raised as an only child in a culture so far removed from American culture, I fit in here fairly quickly. I like to think I have Hollywood to thank for that, you know? But as naive as a freshman could get, I got involved in anything that came my way and went to class with a gusto that I only wish had stayed with me in my final semester where I was suffering from some serious senioritis. School still hadn't gotten that hard, and my advisor, Dr. Twombly, had complete faith that I could do it all. As a side note, I had not taken his class yet. Then came sophomore year, where things seemed to speed up so much that they almost seemed to slow down. Classes got harder. For any undergraduates in the audience, this was the first time I took my accounting and finance classes. There were times when I truly wondered if I could survive it all, to which I'm sure everyone in the audience can relate. I ended up changing majors twice. It wasn't until senior year that things finally clicked and I knew what direction I wanted my life to take. I'm sure you've all been through that moment in time of complete clarity, where all the pieces seem to fall in just the right places. You can call it an epiphany, but all I know is that all of a sudden, everything seemed easier, even though the classes were really getting harder. The numbers were no longer daunting, and Excel seemed like a friend for the first time. And as I stand here before you, 4 years older, but what feels like a million years wiser, I realize that this has been the point of my IIT education. IIT has not just given me 4 years' worth of knowledge, it has given me a lifetime's worth of the ability to challenge myself, to learn, and to grow from my mistakes. But as I stand here before you, it is not the contents of my classes or the grades that I got that come to mind. It is the faces of all my peers, day in and day out, suffering through the same late nights of studying, the same grueling midterms, finals, presentations, and papers. But it's not all about the suffering, it's also about the fun stuff, the late nights of partying, the inane talks about life, the universe, and everything, the stupid YouTube videos that go hand in hand with procrastination on homework. IIT has given me a lot during my 4 years here. Through IIT, I've been on several different student organizations, I've gone Greek, I've traveled across the country on conferences, and I have gotten several steps closer to becoming the person I was always meant to be. But the most valuable thing that IIT has given me has been the opportunity to know you, the people that I am honored to call my comrades. The friends that I have made here will stay with me for the rest of my life, either through their physical presence or through the memories that we have made here. As we make our last impressions on this community, to make our first impressions on the world at large, remember this. This might be the end of something great, but it is simultaneously the beginning of something much greater. Our lives as members of society and representatives of this great university. So as we commence the rest of our lives, remember to keep your IIT memories. Senior week, I'm sorry. Yes, please. I'm so sorry.
Prepared for everything.
Thank you. So as we commence the rest of our lives today, keep your IIT memories safe in your hearts, because I'll get to the punchline, I promise. Keep clapping. Okay, I think I've got it. So as we commence the rest of our lives today, keep your IIT memories safe in your hearts, because through them, you will carry a piece of every individual in this audience and every other audience graduating today. Congratulations, Stuart's class of 2014. I couldn't be prouder to be part of this amazing ceremony of passage with as amazing a group of people as you. Thank you.
Harshada, the Dean would like to give you as a gift, a token of your commencement today, a signed copy of Jim Holden's new power-based selling book. Thank you. I would now like to introduce our graduate student commencement speaker, Yue Guo, who we fondly refer to as Blania. Originally from the People's Republic of China, Blania came to IIT to pursue her Master of Science degree in Marketing, Analytics, and Communication. She earned her undergraduate degree from Renmin University in China. During her graduate program here at Stuart, she worked as a student assistant for faculty member Sanford Bradeen, a research assistant for Assistant Professor Dr. Jennifer Cutler, and held membership in the American Marketing Association. On May 2nd, Blania was inducted into the International Honor Society Beta Gamma Sigma. Membership in Beta Gamma Sigma is the highest recognition a business student anywhere in the world can receive from a business school accredited by the AACSB. Following graduation, Blania plans to return to China to grow her online business, which she started in 2011. She looks forward to continuing to apply the skills she learned at Stuart, now as an entrepreneur. I would like to welcome Blania Groh to the podium.
Good afternoon, honored guests. Thank you, Tina, for introducing me. And good afternoon to all the parents, loved ones, families, and all my fellow students who will be graduating today. 2 years ago, I would tremble speaking in front of so many people. I'm sure many of you had the same experience. If you still tremble after 2 years of presentations in class, I seriously suggest you put on more clothes and stay warm, or maybe bring a bottle of water like I did, or just be confident. I was not at all confident when I first arrived. I chose to study marketing, analytics, and communication, but my background was in Chinese language and liberal arts. I also had other non-marketing analytics related identities such as a guitar player, a photographer, a jewelry maker, an online shop owner, and a cook. None of these identities tells me how to do a Porter's five forces analysis or chi-square test. When trying my best to catch up, I was full of doubts of who I really am and what I'm good at. In our first marketing class, we were informed of a semester-long project in teams of 6. We thought it won't be difficult once you divide the work into 6. We put a lot of effort in it, but the results are not satisfying. I volunteered to be the leader and determined to find out why. I remember being in a rock band back in college. Everyone plays their own part, but it's not enough for a guitarist to excel all the riffs and solos. She also needs to know how to back up the vocal with appropriate chords, how to follow the drummer's changing beats, and how to deliver the best sound effects on stage as a team. In later assignments, we added a progress report to our weekly meeting routine so that every team member knows what the others are doing. And we also sent a copy to our professor who could give us timely guidance. Since then, our team has always been on top of the leaderboard. I recognize the importance of learning from your past mistakes and achievements. Throughout the 2 years in Stuart, I have been leader in every team that I've worked with. The valuable experience will continue to benefit my future career. Last year, I launched my own business. Since I have been an online shop owner for a year as an undergrad, it would be a good idea to start from what I had and grow my business in a smarter way. I utilized the power of social media and quickly expanded within less than a year. However, when the number of my followers reached 1,000, I encountered the problem of scalability. It was too much for me to balance study and work. Using what I learned in class, I repositioned my business and adjusted the marketing strategy. It turned out to be successful. As I'm graduating, I wish to continue my part-time experience and bring it to a higher level. Steve Jobs, the former former CEO of Apple once said, "Success is about connecting dots." I understand that as all the efforts you think are wasted will eventually come back as a powerful weapon, as long as you know how to use it. I will no longer tremble now because I have the confidence to bring my multiple identities together and tackle the unknown challenges in the future. It's hard to understand the world, but I guess it's even harder to understand yourself. Learning is a process of constantly looking out to the world and looking back into one's heart. The purpose of higher education is not to become what others want us to be, but to discover one's full potential and get closer to the truth about oneself. Now I have new identities: a graduate, an entrepreneur, a team leader, a marketer, a data analyst, a better cook, and all the past identities combined and a better me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Blania. Again, Harvey Kahalis would love to give you a signed copy of Jim Holden's new Power-Based Selling. Thank you very much. It is now the time that everyone has been waiting for. Yay! We will now recognize each and every one of our graduates on the completion of their degree and present them with their diplomas. Before we begin this portion of the ceremony, I want to recognize the students wearing blue and gold cords around their neck. These students are members of the Global Honor Society, Beta Gamma Sigma, and they represent the top academic achievers in the class of 2014. To present each student with their diploma today, I would like to invite Dean Harvey Kahalis. Sir?
I'm sorry. I'm schmoozing.
I would like to invite Dean Harvey Kahalis to stand to my right. I would also like to invite Associate Dean and Program Director, Dr. Siva Balasubramanian, to stand to my left to congratulate the Doctor of Philosophy in Management Science graduates as they receive their diplomas today. I invite Dr. Arjun Chakravarti to the podium on the far right. Dr. Chakravarti will read the names of each graduate.
Wusik Lee. Chao Hua He. Gazel Jafari Adadi. Xiao Wei Liang. Indrarto Kurniawan Supankat.
I would now like to invite Associate Dean and Program Director, Dr. Krishna Aramili, to stand and congratulate the Master of Business Administration graduates as they receive their diploma.
Alsara Mohammed Alfosan. Sumaya Abdullah Al-Ghamdi. Jacqueline L. Anderson. Zachary J. Arndt. Andrea Bartolini. Jacob Raj Raghunan Bennett. Ting Kai. Lirio Elizabeth Castillo Gaona. Chang Chen. Li Ching Chen. Shengwei Sabrina Chu. Sultan Ghazi R. Falemban. Xiao Fu. Yang He. Zhenshuan He. Weilin Hu. Lin Zhang. Wei Jiang. Amarnath Koluri. Haitzi Li. Longje Li. Yiyuan Li. Chao Yi Lin. Jia Jie Liu. Yun Hao Liu. Nosayaba J. Osai. Saravanan Panirvil. Andrea Parodi. Divya Pasari. David Payne, Jr. Usman Sahibzada. Ken Sun. Haisen Han. Jiashen Wang. Ge Wang. Chi Wang. Yan Wang. Jia Yan. Lan Jingjiang. Yunqi Zhang. Wu Jin Zhao. Kunwang Chen.
I invite the Master of Science in Environmental Management and Sustainability graduates to please come forward to receive their degrees.
Si Yi Chen. Faye Costa. Russell Raymond Heinrichs. Jin Jin Huang. Susan Marie McCarthy. Shimoli Arunkumar Nahar. Brandon Leonard Perlman. Xiaoqian Run. Hannah G. Wolfman Jones. Ali Yasser.
I invite the Master of Science in Marketing, Analytics, and Communication graduates to please come forward to receive their diplomas.
Yue Guo. Are we back? Okay, we're back. Welcome back. Okay. Omar Al-Sawil. Ning Bai. Yuan Ben. Chia Wen Chung. Wen Ting Chen. Yi Ha Chen. Yun Shui Chen. Chu Chiao Chen. Hung Chu. Hao Ting Cui. John Summers Engelhardt. Xiao Yi Feng. He Yan Gao. Renzi Gao. Ziwei Guo. Shiwei Han. Yanqing Ho. Chen Yu Shao. Rui Hu.
I'm sorry, but I need for you to go back into your seated area. I need for you to come back into your seated area.
Rong Ji. Lu Li.
I'm trying to get everybody else out. I need for everybody to go back.
Chao Li. Yun Li. Xiaohui Li. Waiting Lien. Manli Lin. Xiaoshan Lin. Jia Lu. Jia Yu Liu. Zhao Hong Liu.
Sorry, but I need for you all to come out of the seats. I need for everybody. Yep.
Yue Liu.
I'm sorry. I'm so terribly sorry.
Yuhang Liu. Cholu Liu. Xu Wei Liu. Yun Liu. Zun Liu. Yi Mao. Ting Ting Q. Haoshan Shang. Bao Yin Tang. Yan Tang. Sixuan Tao. Ling Xiao Wang. Hong Wang. Shen Wang. Yang Wang. Yi Wang. Yudong Wang. Bin Yu Wu. Jenny Wu. Jing Shu. Jing Jing Shu. Junkai Yen. Yang Yang. Jinzuo Zhang. Wenjing Zhang. Xi Chang. Bo Hao Xiao. Men Shi Jiao. Wenjing Zhao. Di Ju. Sheng Jie Zhu. Ying Zhu. Lei Zhou.
I would now invite Associate Dean and Program Director, Dr. John Bilson, to stand and congratulate the Master of Science in Finance graduates as they receive their diploma. I also invite Dr. Zhang's son to read the graduates' names.
Wei Ai. Megala Amdas. Hagam Abak. Muhammad Baisha. Oscar Adabado Kalaha. Jianming Chen. Jie Chuang Chen. Le Chen. Li Xiang Chen. Qi Chen. Yu Chen. Xiangming Chen. Han Chu. 杨垂川、李伟大、丁刘、田辉大、Eugene Lama Cantulu, Danny Tan, Xiu Yanjing, Xiao Qudong, Jie Dou, Jin Nanguan, Muhammad Ali Farah, Zhe Xiangfang, Kun Guo, Xiang Yuguo, Jin Qi Han, Wen Dihe, Yu Minhou, Hua Ranpu, Feng Ling Huang, Jin Huang, Liu Ling Huang, Wei Jiang, Rong Ren, Yang Zhanghuan, Pratik Surya Janani, Abing Kalyana Sangwa, Sambia Kukzia, Priti Kushwaha, Ang Li, 罗宾礼。金丽、克利、温软丽、强力。肖金丽、肖通丽、袁丽、君玉令。帅帅林、葛柳、昆上、根柳。好六，嘉裕六，金六，雷六。香玉柳，小雪柳，一路，盐麻，翻派，水拍条，嘉陵喷，温气，寺院前，太乙前，你的马的属下，自海生，太龙寺。悲伤， 名称上。文哲上。Tony Vo。李王。郝玉王。建荣王。西瑞王。一凡王。殷王。占丘王。曹维。Jonathan Whitus。戴彦武。查庆武。夏成武。陈翔。高香社。魏如宪。新县。生者信。杨旭。杨旭。邓燕。肖佳印。徜徉。南生阳。 挺阳，这玉阳，亚琼瑶，坤业，若相业，资深业，越狱，施真正，宽敞，雷障，龙眉障，施军障，依仗，依龙仗，被照，灵照，余照，贾俊洲，萧宙，田启宙，玉婷珠，朱林奖，
I invite Dr. Mike Gorham to read the names of the professional masters in mathematical finance graduates as they receive their diplomas.
Eugene An, Li-Wei Chen, Zhang Chen, Yu Sing. Di Han. Yachi Jiang. Shuaiyang Jiao. Qinyuan Ling. He Liu. Yuting Lu. Zhanxing Ma. Yin Su Ji. Tong Chen. Jinqi Chu. Boy Chu. Xiaodi Chu. Long Cha. Chao Wang. Jin Huang. Li Wei. Tao Run Wen. Yalong Wen. Kun Yao. Young Yu. Xuan Zhao. Zhu Xuan Jiang.
I would like to invite Program Director Dr. Roland Kalia to stand and congratulate the Master in Public Administration graduates as they receive their diploma. And I invite Dr. Dave Ehrlich to read the graduates' names.
Tamra Ben.
Jamaica Flowers. Donnie Hu. Diane Guo. Jen Yu Gao. Ziyang Guo. Huang Ju Huang. Alberta Lucille Johnson. Aaron C. Murph. Anurav Mishra. Daniel Montoya. Beatrice Person. Carol Janet Sharp. Junhan Zhen. Yu Song. Elizabeth Soto. Lin Huan. Cheng Wang. Jing Liao.
I now invite the Master in Public Administration graduates from the province of Shandong to please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Li Zhaizhen. Dong Ang. Gao Yu. Liu Zhao Jing. Meng Lu. Fun, young. Congratulations. Han Song. Wei Ting. 谢占东，赵景波，周瑶。
I invite Program Director Dr. John Twombly to stand to congratulate the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and Applied Science as they receive their diplomas. I invite faculty member Nick Rokop to read the graduates' names.
David Andres Vidal.
I invite the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration graduates to please come forward to receive their diplomas.
Arshita Iyer. Lardine Mary Amlaiki. Amy Joanne Carrera. Wenjia Chen. Randuo Chen. Tom Emdo. Alexander Gosselin Uribe. Maya L. Jordan. Eva Yurgovich. Jungli Kim. Subin Kim. Tran Quoc Le. Jasmine A. Lee. Dai Huan Lim. Janelle Nieves. Karen Yuse Ong. Amina L. Kang. Felipe Brana Jimenez. Yoni Przansky. Charles L. Rivas. Michael Roman. Kartik Aman Saran. Jin Chu. Yehan Wang. Anthony I. Woodson Jr. Bengjie Wu.
It is now my distinct pleasure to invite Dean Harvey Kahalis to the center podium to recognize your degrees and share his personal message with the students. Dean Kahalis.
So, will all of the graduates please stand? We have to wait until everybody gets seated. Okay, we're still coming. Just a minute. Okay, you remember, for those of you who attended the morning ceremony, the president said, well, you're all done except for the awarding of your diploma. So, as Dean of the Stuart School of Business at IIT, I recognize you who have fulfilled all the requirements in your respective fields of study, and congratulations, you're done. You know it can't be that simple, right? So I got a couple of words I'd like to say, and I'd like to commend the class of 2014. I'd like to join Assistant Dean Tina Cooper in offering equal praise to your family and your friends for the sacrifices they've made and for the confidence, love, and support that they have shown you. Whether they're here with you today or thinking of you from afar, I know they're proud of all your accomplishments. So, turn around, face the audience, join me in giving your family and friends a round of applause for what they've done for you. Thank you. Would the graduates, now alumni, please be seated. And there's a cutie little girl right over there. Hi, honey. Hi. No, she's a little unhappy. Okay. The opportunity to stand before you today is really a privilege for me. It gives me great pride to personally see all of you outstanding men and women who are completing this important phase of your lives. I have a lifelong faith that education transcends borders and cultures, uniting us all in the internal search for knowledge and truth. I carried this faith with me growing up in a lower middle class family in Boston, where my father had migrated to this country at the age of 5, completed his education through the 8th grade, went to work to support the rest of the family. My mother was a high school graduate, and I was the first one in my family to earn a college degree. Some of you may be achieving the same honor today. For my personal life and throughout my career in academia, I've seen firsthand the transformative power of education, and I'm thrilled to be here to celebrate the conclusion of this chapter of your journey with you. You've heard many words of wisdom today from our esteemed keynote speaker, our outstanding student speakers, but I have to, as dean, just add a couple of brief sentiments of my own. When you look back 10, 20, 30 years, you'll be amazed at the influences that shaped your journey. Early in my career, I had the great privilege of working with a woman by the name of Dolores Wharton. She was a major corporate executive and a corporate board member of many corporations, who served as the founder of the Fund for Corporate Initiatives and founder of the Young Executive Program at the Aspen Institute, which is an international think tank. Dolores and I worked on these two programs for over 15 years. Programs that were designed to help women and minorities advance in their careers. The mission of these programs, combined with Dolores' own background from a working class family in Chicago, not too far removed from my own background, motivated me to always strive for success and to give back. When you leave here today, it's my sincere hope that you will find success beyond your wildest dreams. And when you do, I hope that you'll also remember to give back. You start with your family, your neighborhood, your society. You have a responsibility globally. Keep in touch with your professors and classmates and with the Stuart School. Life is a team effort. And though your time here at Stuart, our faculty, staff, and your fellow students have become lifelong members of the team that's cheering for your success. You can even hear them now. Oh, those are just kids playing. So it's my hope that this team and your Stuart education have prepared you for whatever lies ahead, to meet the challenges and opportunities of the next economy head on. But I can say from experience that some challenges may catch you by surprise. So, for example, I remember early in my career, obviously many years ago, when I was working at Ford Motor Company, I was giving a presentation to my boss, then the president of Ford Motor Company, Lee Iacocca. I walked into his office to find him lying on his couch, eyes closed, and I could have sworn he was asleep. I must say that something prepared me for dealing with Lee Iacocca, but not to deal with him lying on a couch. And I can bet that none of you have done presentations in your classes where your faculty members have been sleeping. Maybe some. Oh, where is John? Oh, John's over there. Well, I stood awkwardly in the doorway for a few minutes, not knowing what to do, and Lee finally asked me if I was going to make my presentation or just stand there all day. So I proceeded with my material, and all the while he continued to lay on the couch with his eyes closed. Imagine my surprise when I finished and he asked me some of the most probing, thought-provoking questions about the most specific details of my talk. I learned that day to always be prepared and to always present my absolute best work, because sometimes situations are not what they seem, but if you do your best, you'll always shine. You may not know what opportunities will come your way, but from this point forward, you're entering a new phase of your life. This next phase is full of opportunity, hope, promise, and potential. When you leave here today, please remember you have your entire life ahead of you, and it promises to be truly incredible. It was a phrase that I heard many, many years ago I've always remembered, and that is, managers do things right. Leaders do the right thing. Think about that. Thank you. I expect that in this audience of now alumni, you're going to have some really great leaders. Whether you're in the private sector, or the public sector, or academia, you will be leaders, and people will expect a lot from you. I want to again extend to you my most sincere congratulations. As you leave here today, carry yourself proudly as an IIT-Stuart graduate. Be proud of who you are and what you do, just as we are proud to count you as a member of the IIT-Stuart community. This community is one that we hope will be a source of pride and a resource for you throughout your life. Please join me in once again thanking both our amazing student speakers for sharing their experiences with us here today, and thanks to keynote speaker Jim Holden for his wonderful address. I'd also like to thank Assistant Dean Tina Cooper, Assistant Dean Anna Rossetti, and the members of the Commencement Committee for organizing today's event. I'd like to thank our Student Affairs team and the entire Stuart School faculty and staff who work tirelessly to help our students succeed academically and professionally. Please join me in thanking your faculty and staff. Okay, before I close our ceremony, I'd like to ask that guests please remain in their seats and keep the aisles clear as our platform party and the graduates process out Finally, would everyone please join me in congratulating the global leaders of tomorrow, the men and women of IIT-Stuart School of Business class of 2014.